Yo, what's up? You're listening to the Instant Grits podcast. My name is Devin Adams. I'm your host, CEO of Determined Athletes, and I'm determined to inspire. Today, we're a little short in the studio again.
Yeah, we're a
Lopez,
little late.
yeah, Lopez had to handle some business. He's got 17 kids, so
Yeah, it's okay.
yeah. But shout out to Lopez. He was
Shout
gonna try
out
to
low.
make it. Not gonna go on him today. We also
Yeah.
have no video footage because Lopez isn't here, so we don't want to disrespect him and take away his one shining
Pride and
moment.
joy.
Yeah, during the week. This is
Yeah.
probably the only time he ever gets to look into a camera and feel good about himself. What? I'm not even going on him.
No, you're not. You're
I'm
not.
not. So shout out to Lopez. We miss him. Can't wait to get him back in the studio because we have some other topics that are
Yeah, we
funny
gotta finish him up.
and also some serious stuff because we know Lopez is a sharp tool in the old shit. So shout out to Lopez. But we are here. We got Patrick. You hear Patrick in the background here chilling. He's doing some good stuff. He's not 100%, but he's in here.
Yep.
I'm not 100%, but I'm in here. So that kind of is the main message for what we're talking about today. I'm sick of people complaining so
Yeah.
much. Just straight
No,
up.
yeah. I mean, it's tough. We all got our own little stuff that
We
we
do.
gotta go through, but
Everybody does. Some
yeah.
people always have it worse than you. So before we get into that, let's talk about what platforms we're on real quick, Pat.
Yep. We are on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean,
Yep. Instantgrits.podbean.com.
and Podcast Addict. This is
Podcast
the
Addict
newest one.
and YouTube. But we're gonna be.
Oh, I didn't say YouTube. Yeah, gotta
But
get on
it's
YouTube
okay. You know why? You know why we did.
because Lopez. I got
Because of
you.
Lopez. Okay. So like I said, thank y'all for supporting. Please continue to vote. Shout out to a lot of my female determined athletes. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Jordan, Dawson, who's at Rosemont. She plays ball there. My youngin' Joy Morton. Uh,
Joy's a beast.
yeah. Whenever I ask them to do something, they just say, "Cool." That's it. They subscribe. They follow. They vote. They've always supported determined athletes. So specific shout outs to them. Those are my girls. I love them like my little sisters. So shout out to them. Patrick also lost 5 pounds this week, so he's doing good.
Yeah, gotta keep it up, man.
Yeah, we all do. We all got to be accountable because it all starts with ourselves. If I haven't lost the weight I need, it's nobody's fault. It's
Right.
my fault.
All your fault.
It's all my fault. If you didn't do something or lose the weight that you wanted to lose yet,
all on you.
it's all on you. It's all on you, Pat. Whatever I'm working on, it's all on me.
Mm-hmm.
So thank y'all for y'all support, y'all too. And like I said, we got some Boots of Bravery stuff coming up too. That's going to pop. We're going to do our Boots of Bravery, maybe Bring Your Five tournament. We did one a couple of years ago. And it was
it was pretty.
it was live. It was a ton of people trying to play. It was a ton of people that we shouldn't have let
man.
play.
Yeah, we should have cut it off at
a
certain level. But it wound up being pretty good though.
It was good. It was good. It was a good turnout. So we might do like a baby version of that.
Yeah.
So just keep your ears posted. Boots of Bravery, me and Patton holding that down. Lopez, my man Chris. So we might even have a few more guest speakers. But yo, that's gonna be June 15th. So really happy for that.
Yep.
And yeah. So just please continue to refer a friend and continue to spread the word. This is a movement and a community that we're trying to build based off of accountability because everything starts with you. My win, and then we're gonna get right into this, is my shoulder. Today is
day 4, 5.
No.
What is it?
This happens Wednesday. Okay, so guys, here's what happened. All right, you guys ready?
Here's the story.
All right, we're gonna make this as brief as possible. I got to the gym early. I'm just trying to put up about 300. I put up 357 jumpers, right? Just warming up. And while I was shooting, I swear to God, I said, you know what? I better just stay right here and keep shooting. That way, as I get older, I can just become a sniper because I don't have time to be dancing and getting hit. I'm little. Okay, I don't have time for that no more. So I said, let me just stay right here in this spot. Yeah, and let me shoot. So people came in. Shout out to my man Joe Millman. He's going to come on the podcast too. He had a session, so we had an open gym for him. I'm warming up with a few of my guys, Troy, Dom, and a young lady they brought in who played at Newman. So we're just warming up 2-on-2. Yeah, and Jadon. Why did I say his name that many times? Because he's responsible. I say, yo, let's just warm the F up. Legitimately. Let's warm up. So we're shooting around. He hit a bucket or something. Somebody took a shot and they missed it. I see the ball go up for the rebound. I see the ball go up. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get this. But now I see Jadon flying over me. Listen, I said warm up, so I'm not even going that hard. Warm up. He flies over me. He grabs the basketball with both hands. I have it in my left hand. But when he came down with the ball in both of his hands, that pressure put a lot of strain on my left arm. My left arm was elongated. It was out. And then next thing I know, I'm falling down to the ground and I have no feeling in my left arm and hand. So I'm looking down thinking like it's a nerve damage issue because I have nerve damage in,
Mm-hmm.
in my back of my arms. I have subluxing nerves. When I bend my arms, my funny bone nerves pop out. So I feel tingling all the time. But this was
Jeez, man.
a different one, Pat.
It felt different.
This felt different. I went down. I'm like, okay, nerves. And then I tried to move my arm.
nerves.
I did. I said, nerves. Be cool. You can deal with this. So now I'm on the ground. Now I'm on the ground and I'm thinking, whoa, I can't move my arm either. So I'm thinking maybe that's nerves too. Until I look down and I see a flat part of where my deltoid used to be. It was flat. It was flat. So I'm like, oh, this isn't good. I said, this is bad. And I said, yo, I talked to myself. I said, I think this is what my dad would call a separated shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking and I see a bone sticking out the back of it. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is it.
Wow.
This is my moment of what am I gonna do? And this isn't something I could walk off because I tried to just walk around the gym. Say,
nah, no dice.
No
you're
dice.
not walking that off, bro.
So Jaden did that, and now, but the good thing, shout out to Jaden, he actually went with me to the hospital with Patton.
Yeah.
He stayed. He helped me with the bag. I guess he felt guilty. Yeah, he should have.
Now here's my quick insertion into the story.
So that's what happened in the gym.
That's what happened in the gym. I just so happened to be. I was actually on my way home. I was like, let me call Dev up and see what he's doing. Yeah. I called him up. And he was like, "Hey, Pat," like real calm, like normal. I'm like, "What's up, bro? What's going on?" Listen, need you to take me to the hospital. I think I separated my shoulder. I'm like, "What?" But he said it so calm. I'm like, he joking. All right, he might got a little bruise or whatever. Yeah. So I'm not thinking much of it. I'm like, all right,
But you know me now, Pat. You know when it's panic situations.
No, I do know that.
But
see, I was because you were so calm, I couldn't really tell. So I'm like, all right, well. Let me turn around then, and we'll go to the hospital. Yeah. So I pull up, and he's sitting over there by this trash dump.
I'm in my car, okay.
Well, no, I mean,
I got my trunk open. I'm sitting down.
No, you weren't sitting in the trash.
It made me sound like I
said bye.
I might beat me up and toss me out of a snatch him up van.
That was kind of the imagery I had. So,
yeah, no, I can tell. Go ahead, though. I'm sorry for
no, but. So I'm like, yo, bro, that's like that don't look too good. You all right? He was like, yeah, it's hurting pretty bad. I need to, never, some people wince and they never none of that. So I'm like, okay.
I was trying to breathe and not throw up because I was in that much pain. I said, I'm gonna throw up. How do you throw up off of not eating nothing?
Listen, I know
stomach ain't hurt.
I know it was painful. I got to the hospital as quick as I could. Was trying not to go over bumps. Every bump I hit, I'm like, oh, you all right, bro? Because I know this.
I just had my head I was just looking down. I was like,
yeah, the whole time he was just like, it's cool, Pat. Just it's all right, man. No worries.
But you know what? A little foreshadowing. When you was doing that, that's why I tell people to stop complaining. Because when my brother Justin Izlar had cancer and he had a tumor in his leg, we had to switch cars because my car had better. It wasn't as bumpy. It had better, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that whole time, you see what I mean? So y'all see where I'm going with this. That's why I sat there quiet, not complaining, because Justin Izlar had a tumor in his leg, and it was excruciatingly painful if he hit the slightest bump. Wow. So who am I to complain about a bump when my friend is coming to get me? Wow. All right, so don't, y'all can already hear me in my voice. I'm about to go. Like, yo, what the? I'm about to get real serious about it. But go ahead, Patton. So, so he took me. We got to the hospital quick, too. Wasn't that bad?
Yeah, we got there.
South Philly potholes, shout out.
Yeah. Shout out to South Philly for all the damage to the car. But, we got there. We got to the emergency, and I'm like, all right, cool. We here now. Like, all right, they're going to see his shoulder. They're going to take it back. And, all right, let me just go park. So
you went to go park.
Yeah, I went to go park, and I come back, and I don't see him. So I'm like, all right, dang, that's all right.
I was feeling pretty good too, Patton.
Yeah, I'm like, that's quick. He back. I'm sure they see the shoulder.
This is a ranking, okay? People are sick, but my shoulder's out.
Right.
I'm thinking they're gonna bump me up in the line.
That's what I'm saying. You see bone and all that, like you're not going, So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna sit here and wait and da da da.
So hold on. So what was great is when you were sitting back there, and when he was sitting down chilling, they took me to the back. The doctors were cool. They said, whoa, first of all, when they took my vitals, they said, why is your heart rate 49 right now?
Wow.
And they, the lower your heart rate is, that means you're a pretty
More
good
calm.
athlete
Yeah.
and you're calm. So they said, so your heart rate is better than a lot of our athletes here. And I'm like, yes, I know. Thank you. I'm a real common
This
knowledge.
guy.
I am. And then my blood pressure, I think, was like 120/80. So they said for somebody to be in as much pain as you're in, I'm really surprised that all these levels seem pretty cool. So with all that being said, I just want to let y'all know that listen who y'all talking to now. So when y'all come and y'all talking to me, realize that my blood pressure don't spike and my heart rate don't fluctuate because I'm a real one. So recognize who y'all talking to. Real recognize real.
Yeah, I ain't gonna slight you because you was on your Mighty Mouse, Joe.
I was on my Mighty Mouse.
So
I thought the doctor. Hold on, the doctor said, "Yo, we gonna pop this joint back in right now."
Oh, I didn't know they said that. Okay.
As soon as I went back there,
okay.
His name, I'm not gonna put his name. I could say his name. His name is Doctor. I'm not gonna say his name because I just don't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it. But he said, "Yo, we're gonna do this now." I said, "No, you're not." I said, "No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You are not touching me." I say not because I could barely move it. Like I felt something sticking out of the left part of my shoulder, and then I felt something jabbing me in the right side.
No, you did tell me that. Yeah.
So I was like, something isn't. You're not touching me. He said, "Oh no, we could just." He said, "Listen, we're gonna either get an X-ray and do it right now, or we're gonna do it right now." I said.
Okay, well.
I said, "Oh, so you talking to me like that?" I said, "We're gonna get an X-ray first, and y'all not putting this joint in. Like, you're not touching me, bro."
Wow.
So then I'm thinking, okay, cool. So I came back, and that's when I came and sat back out there with you for a long time, right?
Okay. Yeah. So then he comes back out, and I'm like, all right, I guess
shout out to the weirdo youngin. That was
no, we ain't gonna put her in there yet. See, this one's we probably need to call this the Chronicles of the Emergency Room.
Yeah.
Right.
Weirdo.
Because we're in there with about 80 to 90 people just sitting around, looking at people. Shout out to the older couple though that asked us if we were okay, and gave Dev water and
gave me water and a tasty cake because
I
was going through it. Y'all know me. I love my gummy bears, my gummy candy.
Yeah, it wasn't coming out, man.
The vending machine was like
fighting.
F you. Okay?
Crazy.
You're not getting none. And so now I'm freaking out because now I'm getting a headache. I'm getting dizzy.
Yeah, he's in pain. Now we're talking about. We're going on at least an hour and a half between the time that I came back from parking and now.
Yeah.
Because it was only about maybe 5 more minutes from the time that I came back between when he first came back out. So I'm like, all right, they must gonna move this along quick.
Hold on. During this whole time, this is the last time, Pat.
Yeah.
This whole time I was under mental duress. Why? Why you ask? Ask me, Pat. Ask me why.
Why were you under mental duress?
I'm glad you asked, Pat. Because I'm thinking I'm going back to this doctor. And he's just gonna put his hands on me.
Yeah, just snap.
And just snap the joint right back in.
Right.
So this whole time, I have my head down. I'm just trying to focus. I'm meditating. I'm breathing. I'm legitimately doing all these things. No joke aside, because I'm thinking I'm about to die. I was thinking once I go back here, he's just going to take his hands and say, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Right.
And I'm thinking in my head, if this nigga, I know we trying to watch our language, but if he touch me,
right.
They gonna have to call somebody because I'm gonna F him up with my one hand.
Yeah.
Because that's how much pain I said. This isn't that type of thing. So I didn't know this whole time they were waiting for a bed, Patton. They were waiting for a bed to take us.
We didn't get that till almost 20 minutes before we went back?
Yeah, so I didn't know. So I'm just sitting here thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna die. He's gonna pop this joint back into place. No meds. So they gave me some meds, but they weren't working. They gave me about 2,000 milligrams of some pain meds. But God, it wasn't working at all. And they put my arm in a sling. So I'm sitting out there in the waiting room in a sling, in pain, thinking that this dude's gonna pop me back right into place, and I'm thinking.
So you got the mental anguish along with the physical pain, along with being tired, along with
real, man. And that's about to come and get me. So going. So now, what happened about hour two? Hour two to Jadon left. What happened?
Yeah, Jadon left, and then then we had
4 open seats.
So
4 seats.
See, I don't even know where to start with this one.
That's where we start.
So you had a rather large, burly female, looked a little disheveled, and she would just stand in front of people. And at first we were thinking okay, maybe she's with this group over here, maybe she's sick. We in an emergency room, whatever. So we go to sit down on the side, and there's a seat in between us. But it's 4 other wide open chairs, one facing the TV, 3 others.
Where she is standing, Patton, there are 4 chairs.
4 chairs.
Directly free. Where she is standing, wide open.
She walks over, says nothing. No verbal communication.
She pointed at my paperwork in the chair. Did you see that?
Yeah, she pointed at the paperwork and proceeded to sit down and have a seat in between
Yo,
us.
she basically
I'm
said,
like,
Devin, move your stuff right
but I'm
now.
like, ho,
I'm
wait,
looking
wait,
around
wait.
like, okay.
Like, you don't see all them other empty. So that's how I knew something wrong with you. Okay.
And she sat right in between us.
And then she sat right down. So I said,
Puff,
you know what?
poof, she landed.
You know
Boom.
what? All right.
So you moved though. You moved.
Listen, I moved right away because I'm like, listen, I'm tired. I
Yeah.
don't feel good myself. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
Pat
make
was
sure my
sick.
man get back there and whatever.
Oh my
So
God.
so then
And she
then
keep looking at me though.
that's what I'm saying. She kept looking at him. She looked at me one time. One time was all you had to look at me.
She kept looking at me,
good.
and then when I turned my head to my right to look back at her, she looks away. I'm like, "Yo, is this youngin' effing with me?"
Listen, no,
Like, what's going on with this?
And it's a shame. That's the that we can do a whole nother show on that mental health piece. But
Yes.
so then they called Dev back for some medication or something, vital something. They call him back for something, and so I'm sitting out there.
He called me back for my first X-ray.
Right, I'm sitting out there, and she comes walking around again, and I'm like, see, at this point, we talking about it's like 9:30. It's like 9:30 at night. We got there at 6:30, 7 o'clock. So I'm like,
she
oh
lurking
my
like
God.
Jaws.
I said, okay, listen, I'm really not in the mood for this. This is going to go bad. This is going to go, because she was just standing in front of people, just looking at them, like all in their conversation, never saying anything. It was like, okay, this is really weird. But, but I knew something was off. And like I said, that mental health piece is crazy. We got to do a better job of that, countrywide in addressing that. But it just the experience for what was going on, like it really just added more to the story. He was like, you got me in here. My man's bone is all exposed and twisted, and you got us sitting here for 3 hours. The meds don't work. We can't get stuff out the vending machine. There's a crazy chick after us. Like, you can't make this stuff up, man.
It was. So finally,
mean?
I think it was about 10:30. They called me back there for the final time. And now I'm back there, and I'm gonna speed this up. My bad. Like I said, I love this story because I've just learned so much about myself and the humor about it, and how loyal Patton is too. Because Patton was there the whole time. He did not move the entire time. So they sent me back there, and they was like, "Yeah." So we looked at the X-ray, and yeah, you have a fractured shoulder and a separation, and you lost some of. It's a ball and socket, and when your shoulder popped out, it took some of the other stuff with it. So we might have to do like a procedure or something. I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't care because I'm just like, you guys are not going to put your hands on me. Without
that's the bottom line.
So I got back there with the nurse, and she after all that they said, "Are you comfortable with anesthesia?" And as soon as they did that, I did the Glory Denzel Washington tear because I was just like, "Praise God." Okay. They're not. I said, "Really?" I said, "I'll sign anything. I don't care about no." They said, "Did you eat?" I said, "Yep, I had a taste cake, but I'm not going to choke on my vomit. Sign me up now, please," because that just let me know that they weren't going to just crack my life away with putting my arm in place, but I die in the process of the pain.
Now here's where it gets funny.
Okay, so where does it get funny at?
You guys know, those of you who know Dev personally, always positive, nice guy.
It's trained. I've trained myself for that.
Yep. Yeah, so he's talking to the the nurses and the doctors that are coming in, and then all of a sudden it's like a 8-man team. I'm like, oh wait, what's going on?
Yeah, they brought some med school students in.
Yeah, so he's still talking all nice to everybody, and he's making them laugh, and he's charming them, and he's being himself. He's doing his thing. P. Beth. So they say, well, sir, could you step out the room for a second? I'm like, okay.
It's funny though, because Big Tree is 6'7", so him stepping out the room just means he's just looking down.
Yeah, I'm just looking over top of the, I'm looking over top of the curtain, like, all right, whatever. So then I heard one of them say, you give me 20 mLs of propofol. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, wait. That's that Conrad Murray, Michael Jackson. Oh, no. We're not going to do that. We not going to mess up with that. And y'all look like y'all just graduated last week. Like, I don't know about this. So I'm watching close. So they see me watching like super intently over the curtain just to make sure.
So apparently I'm out of it now.
And so I hear the doctor explain to him, you'll be in another state of consciousness. He's trying to be real professional about it or whatever. Basically, he should have just said, listen, you're going to be loopy and you're going to be on another planet for about a half an hour.
And we're going to put your arm back
in. Right. So they got Dev all loopy. Now, he's still somewhat, I guess his system was fighting it because he's still talking to people. But, I guess that drug is so powerful that I watched him put his arm back in the socket. And he was just like, yeah. Yeah, like the whole
First of
time.
all, I probably
So,
wasn't saying that. I was probably cooler than that, no?
um, well, they can't see, so I
Yeah.
can't really,
Okay, that's
I
fine. I
can't really
know, I know, I
demonstrate
know, I know.
because Lopez not here.
We'll
So if
wait until
Lopez was here, I
shout
can,
out to
I
Nolo
can,
Lopez. No show low.
yeah, I could do that. But, um, yeah, man. So it was just funny. It was a funny experience, and once they popped it back in, I'm like, okay, it showed to look better. I guess they.
Meanwhile, it's 12 p.m. It's 12 a.m. right now.
Yeah, at
Let's not
this
get it
time,
twisted. It's
right? At this
12,
time, we
12:30.
into the next day.
Yeah.
Easy, easy. And then, they had to do a follow up X ray just to make sure he was okay. But we both in between falling asleep and trying to make sure everything's cool. And then Dev just gets this crazy, super Herculean, retarded wind of energy. Just, all right, yeah, I'm ready to go. Yeah,
It's
I
time
want
to
to
get
go
out of
home.
here.
I want to
Because
go home.
I'm thinking about Pat.
I'm like,
Pat's
what?
sitting here asleep. He got 17 kids. He lives in Narnia.
There you
I'm
go.
like, he's got to get there.
What's the Narnia?
You know what I mean? You do. So I'm like, yo, it's time to go. These drugs. I said, give me the crackers. I need to eat. So I found a nurse. I'm like, yo, I need to eat something. I know. Give me the food. So I eat it. Blah blah blah. Now it's about 2 p.m. 2 a.m. Excuse me. Let's change that letter to the
Yeah,
A.
2 a.m.
And we're walking. I'm in a good mood just because I'm not in that much pain anymore.
Yeah,
Right.
strolling.
So I'm strolling. We get home. Patrick drives home. He makes his Wawa stop. I get something to eat. I get my strawberry cheesecake smoothie. Shout out to Brian Rudd who put me onto those. And it was a delicious and awesome evening. I was gonna go to school the next day, but they basically begged me not to come in. I was gonna go because I don't care. Because like I said, you still have a job to do even if you are hurt or uncomfortable. That's
That's
just
true.
my mindset. So that's that part of the story. But where my mindset shifted was what keeps me balanced is war movies. If y'all didn't know that, so on Netflix, there's it's a documentary called Medal of Honor where they interview or reenact Medal of Honor recipient stories. So out of 4 million people that have been in all branches of service, they've only given out like 3,500 Medal of Honor,
Wow.
right? So this is great because they reenact them, and they've been from the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, all the way to people that served in Afghanistan. And what brings balance to me when I watch them is like, man, some of these boys have been shot up and they're getting up, still interrogating people
Yeah.
after they've said, I'm going to ransack this place by myself. Or all the members in their platoon are threatened and they tell them to go, I'm going to hold this line down by myself. And they've been shot, they've been starved, they haven't eaten, they've been hit multiple times. So this this type of stuff, when I see it, keeps me balanced and lets me realize that we need to first pay more respect to the people of service
Very
in our
true.
country,
Very true.
but also how blessed we are that we have a life where we can walk outside today and take a deep breath and not worry about guns going off or somebody bombing us or a roadside bomb, or even the fact that we have life to appreciate.
Right.
So like I said, if y'all don't watch that, watch it because it helps keep me balanced, and it also just gives me a new perspective about how we need to stop complaining all the time. Just stop it. If you around me, I will listen to you and I will empathize. Absolutely, I really would because life is hard.
Yeah, it's
But
tough,
after
it's
that,
tough.
we got to figure out what we're going to do to be solutions oriented and make moves.
True.
Because complaining doesn't do anything but feed that negative feedback loop, and you're repeating a story in your head, which means you're living in the past.
Right.
And you can't move forward if you're living in the past. We need to have a perception of present going into our future, not present and then retrogressing back to the past. That's a false sense of reality.
Yeah.
And like I said, I could talk about all that stuff later. But we need to stop complaining. And this was my moment of stopping complaining, or what I would like to call suffering with grace. Because two of the best
Suffering with
people I know,
grace. Wow.
yeah, suffering with grace. Charity, who I went to school with, her name is Charity Tillman-Dick. That's her name. Then one of the top 5 nicest people I knew at Peabody. And for some reason, me and her really got along. We just clicked. The little guy from D.C., I can't remember where she was from, but it just clicked. And I didn't find out until my senior year that she had a double lung transplant.
Wow.
As an opera soprano. I think she was a soprano, and she was an opera singer. Little did I also know that she was, I believe, had cancer as well. So during my first
Wow.
meeting with her, I knew none of this until 3 years into our relationship as friends, which obviously just made me respect her even more. She sang opera, she's performed all over the world, and she was still doing this with double lung transplants, having cancer complications, and I think she wrote a book too, but she passed away, I believe, a month ago, and it just ripped me up because it's like that. If people need to realize that life is fickle,
Yeah.
um, and you have a short time here. Obviously, she impacted a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
but people would have never known that's what she was going through unless they went deep within the surface. So that's why I took this moment of me just having a simple separated shoulder
Mm-hmm.
to test myself. And y'all can call me a liar, you can call me weirdo. I don't care. But I was using that time to test myself to see how will I suffer with this. Am I going to suffer
Mm-hmm.
with grace, or am I going to act like the world is over, or am I going to practice my mental toughness? Am I going to practice realizing that there's cancer survivors like my best friend, the best man I ever knew, Justin Izlar, who had 4 or 5 rounds of chemo, who had multiple masses in his body. The first one I was around for when we was 18 and 19, when I
Mm-hmm.
would hit a bump and I would see him grimace and how much that hurt me. But he ended up writing poetry. He ended up inspiring a whole generation of people.
Mm-hmm.
But you would have never known that he was going through that based off of how he carried himself.
Man, that's see, stories like that really bring it home, and
Yeah,
we all got our different crosses to bear, whatever it may be.
we do.
Some may be more, um, like with cancer. I mean, that's can't imagine that. That's just one of the most painful things ever.
It is. And that treatment,
Um,
I was with him,
yeah.
not every single time. I'm not going to exaggerate,
Mm-hmm.
but about 80% of the time until I went to college. I would still drive down from Baltimore and take friends to visit him.
Mm-hmm.
He was going through that,
Yeah.
man. That chemotherapy, he couldn't look at certain colors without getting sick because
Wow.
that's how much that chemo started to affect his mental. He dropped lots of weight. He lost his hair. Then he gained his weight back. He was still trying to step a little bit because he was a phenomenal stepper.
Mm-hmm.
I've known this boy since he was three. We were
Wow.
3 or 4. So this is my brother. So like I said,
Yeah.
him going through all of that and me witnessing it, I hope people see the good in me because of him. That's where it came from. I wasn't born like this. It's because I was in his presence so much that the majority of the good you see in me is because of the influence that he has had on my mindset and how I need to handle and be more respectful to people and value and treasure life.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
and like I said, we're wrapping up now, but he was the epitome of having grace while having and charity, both having grace while having an interesting and intimate relationship with life and death.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you
Wow. Yeah, that's important. Death too.
yes, because chemo and different various forms of cancer, you it gets your attention and then it changes your perspective on life.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how strong you are. Even Justin told me he had days that he broke down and days he said, "Why me?"
Mm-hmm.
Um, and sometimes he actually said, "Yeah, he knew that death was not far away."
Mm-hmm.
But my God, how do you keep living so high? Like
Yeah. Yeah. How do you stay positive?
so, I'm nowhere near on that level of mental toughness yet. Nor am I on that level of the impact of inspiration over motivation. That's why I say determined to inspire. I want people to see Patton, and I want people to see me, and I want people to see Charity and Justin and be motivated to change something within themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Inspire means in spirit. So I want us to tap into the spirit of ourselves within, tap into that godliness within us so
Mm-hmm.
that we can live our lives full, even when we are in painful situations.
Yeah.
And this was
Yeah.
my opportunity, whether y'all like it or not. I have nerve damage in my arms and back too. And the doctor said, I might not be able to have feeling in my arm and my nerves. I didn't care what they said. And Patton was right there because
Mm-hmm.
I was just so in a state of bliss because of that pain being gone.
Right.
But this was my first time in a long time to experience, and I was fortunate enough to suffer in grace.
Yeah.
So
Well, I got to witness it, man. So that's changes my perspective on a lot too.
yeah, it does.
You know.
So I think we all need to just stop complaining. And if we do go that route of complaining, do a deep dive with your thought and say, why am I complaining? Where is
Mm-hmm.
this stemming from? Because being accountable, everything starts with you. If you're complaining, you can figure out a solution
Yep.
and you can change that mindset. Hopefully, we all learn something from this and learn that we can all suffer with grace and struggle with grace as well. It's not the end of the world. Outside things shouldn't dictate our inner peace.
True indeed.
And also, if we're going through something internally, we can go through it with a certain class and grace like Charity and Justin Izlar. Shout out to all those families um, for their loss, because I know that they're going through it, and I know they moved on some, but those are great people too. I'm glad and fortunate I got to meet them, and they've
awesome.
impacted me. So, with that being said, everybody, we love everybody. Thank y'all for the jokes at my school. They was clowning me as soon as I walked in. The teachers, I don't know why, they just started going in on me. I just let them go in. That's fine.
No reason.
No reason. No reason. Started hitting me on the arm. So shout out to the 2 teachers. Y'all know who y'all are for doing that. But like I said, guys, stop complaining. Live life now. And life's fickle, so enjoy it with the people that you love the most. Make moves, move markets, man.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Till next time. Be safe.